Alright gang, check this one out. About 2-3 weeks ago, my son had told me about an estate sale he wanted to go to. And you know, I haven't been having any luck lately at estate sales, finding anything I want. Well, let me take that back. I did buy a vintage trash can for my bathroom at the last estate sale I went to for $4 whole. But it looks cool. I can't believe I'm telling you guys I bought a trash can for my bathroom. Anyway, we went to this other estate sale my son wanted to go to, and I ran into an old friend that he's this guy that's got no need to work. He really doesn't have a job. His job is, you know, buying and selling vintage stuff and antiques. And his favorites are clothing and painting. Well, we got to talking, and I mentioned something to him about the scramble vans I picked up recently, and about to say chopper, not chopper, the stunt cycle. So he told me he had a couple of pieces that he had picked up that were not in the greatest shape, and he'd sell them to me really cheap. And here they are. The Sky Cycle and the Funny Car. Now the Sky Cycle, he told me this is how he picked them up, and he did some repairs to the Funny Car, and I'll show you that. The Sky Cycle was, oh, it was horrible. It still has to be glued. It's the glue separated on the bottom, so I'm out of glue, so I have to pick up some glue and reassemble it. But when I got it, it had, I don't know if it was ink markings or paint, but it was so old. The decals that were left were not legible, and they were all pulling off. And it had a name written on it at one time. So what I did is I bring it home. That rubber band he put on it to keep it together, it won't fall apart if I take the rubber band off, but it is in pretty sad shape when I brought it home. And then, as I said, the Funny Car, it had its issues as well, but these are toys from like what, 74 through 76 maybe, and they were played with and they're still around. So let's take a look at each one of them separately. Alright, here's the Sky Cycle. What I've had to do, and I really hated to pull the stickers off, but you know, there was supposed to be stars here, Evel Knievel, #1, and a blue decal here with stars on it as well. Half of this decal was gone. This decal was barely hanging on. This #1 was ripped in half, and every star that was left was peeling up. So the #1 on the other side was still there, but it was in horrible shape. So I decided that I'll just remove all the decals, because one, I wanted to clean it up, and some of the decals had the marking on it. And I'll just eventually get another set of decals and put this thing back together. Alright, here's the bottom view of the Sky Cycle, and where it has come unglued over the edges is here. Now there's no real damage to it, but I will be honest, this side here had some kind of a film on it, and I'm not sure what kind of film it was, but I ended up having to put this thing in bleach. I didn't soak it in bleach. I sprayed it with bleach several times, then I washed it with soap, Dawn dish liquid, and then I ended up taking Comet and a scrub brush, and I got all of it off. I mean, it was real, and it was just like I said, just this one side. Now you see where some of the original glue that spilled onto the body has turned, and I don't know if I'm going to take, and because of the shape this is in, I don't tend to remove decals from the toys and all that, but as I said, they were not in good shape. So I'm thinking about possibly repainting this white because of how the excess glue has turned, and it looks like a stain. Alright, there's a shot of the glue I'm talking about, all around the nose. Alright, here's the other side. And it has a blemish here. I'm not sure exactly what caused that. And I'm not sure if I'm going to get some modeler putty for like a model car and try to, you know, ground that out and fill it back in, or just leave it as is. I'll probably leave it as is because, you know, it's part of its history. Alright, here's the funny car. Now it's missing the steering wheel, the parachute, and the roll bar will not stay attached in the back. And like I said, it's beat up, it's been damaged, and I'll show you some of the damage. But you noticed there's supposed to be, and I saw this by looking at some pictures online, supposed to be a blue stripe here, stripes here, Evel Knievel down the side, and a decal on the back. None of those decals are on it. The only decals are on it are the ones behind the fender. Now here's a lot of the body damage, and I've noticed when I looked at some of these online that, you know, people had posted to show and sell, it's odd that most of the damage to them are in the rear of the car. I've seen them where the wheelie bars are missing, the parachute seems to be always missing on most of them, and damage to the back. Now this one, I'm going to move the camera by hand. Well, that might not be a good idea either. Move the car. There we go. There's a crack there. You see it going all the way across the back. And it's not coming up good, but it also runs through here. But it's been glued. Alright, here's a shot of the inside. It seems that everything is here but the steering wheel. And what I was talking about, the roll bar, this roll bar was a clip right there, but every time I put it there, it pops right back out. I'm not going to glue it. It's just going to sit like that. Fuel tank still attached. Blower still attached. And I notice a lot of times online, some of the ones I've looked at, the blower is missing as well. I had to put all the lines back in it. I guess this is supposed to be spark plug wires, but all of them are hanging out, so I'll pop those all back in. And you can see some kind of glue. Kind of looks like Gorilla Glue of some sort, and it's not that old. So I gotta ask my friend, did he do that? I'm sure he did, because he's an Evel Knievel fanatic. He had the toys when we were kids. Alright, so now I mentioned in one of the Evel Knievel videos, and it might have been the Superman video, that I did want one of these. I never had either one of these. I don't recall my cousin in Alabama ever having these. I know he had the scramble things. I remember loving going there and playing with it. It's kind of strange. Had to go a 4-hour ride to play with an Evel Knievel toy. But this looks like a Trans Am. The early 70s Trans Am. I just love the front of this car. My plan is to clean this up, get the decals for it, because there's a guy that sells them online for both these items. Actually, I think he sells them for every Evel Knievel toy. I'm making an assumption, but I've seen him advertising decals for a lot of Evel Knievel items. I'm gonna take and get me some putty, modeler's putty for like model cars, and work on the cracks, fill those back in, and I'll more or less take and scuff it down with some fine sandpaper, spray it red, and because there are blemishes that's not going to come up on the camera, like right here it looks like, I don't know exactly how to explain it, it's like a layer of plastics peeled up. But then I'll spray it red, put the decals on it, and seal it, both of these items. Okay, something else I want to point out, that the body is not on a hinge. This piece of plastic is screwed together, and this is the hinge for the body. It's not a true hinge, it's just part of the chassis, and you see the white stress. But I got to looking, and it's glued here as well. And it's not going to come on camera, so I'm not even going to try to show it, but this piece, you know, the hinge, it folds here, but it's cracked here and here, and it's hard to see because the gyro motor is covering it up, but it is cracked on both sides. So if you don't have this and you really want one, keep in mind that if you're buying it offline, to have whoever sells it to give you photos of this, see if it's split. I'd hate to see somebody buy one of these and get it and realize that it's hanging on by a prayer. Because like these toys, they were tough and durable, but they do wear out. And as I said, I've seen online a lot of them that's being sold, one or both wheelie bars missing, chute missing, blower missing, roll bars missing, and steering wheel. Like I said, this one, I'm going to do the best I can to put it back together. Now, fortunately, the guy I got these from, he's got another one and it's complete. My thought, I'll talk it over to him and see how he feels about it, but my thought is to get some of that, I can't remember what it's called, but I've used it before in the past. You go like to Hobby Lobby or Michael's, and it's like two kinds of putty. You squish them together and you make molds. And what I'm going to do is see if he wouldn't mind. I'm not going to ask him to take the parachute off of his car unless he wants to. But if I could just mold that parachute and possibly make me a parachute for this car, and I won't have the clips to clip it on, but I'll screw it from the inside out. But guys, I already said when I bought the scramble vans that this is dangerous because I'm going to start wanting all the other stuff, and here it is. I got the scramble vans 100% complete, one now just missing the box. So I have two complete, 100% complete in the box, one missing a box. Then I've got the Formula One dragster, which I recently posted a video on that a friend of mine at work sold me, complete in the box. Something I don't think I said in the video of that was that the energizer or launcher, I call them launchers, everybody calls them different things, it won't go back in the box, that is being that it's assembled, and being that it's from the 70s, I'm not going to try to disassemble it to put it in the box. Plus it's got a crack in it. Either way, at least I got a launcher. Now neither one of these came with launchers. He bought them without launchers, and I told him to let me know if he comes across anything else, Evel Knievel, that is fairly inexpensive and complete, that he'd like to sell. Like I said, it doesn't have to work. This guy's on Facebook showing you wherever he goes. He's at a bar, or he's at a club. He and his wife they just travel around doing flea markets and yard sale shows, and he's got tons of stuff. So I'm just glad he had these. I'm glad I ran into him, because once I hadn't seen him in a while, so we caught up on family things and all that good stuff, because like I said, we grew up together. And we didn't hang out and all that, but Harry and I'm rambling. Anyway, it's somebody that I've known for almost all my life. But gang, I'm going to work on these two, and once I get them done, I will post a new video. Now, I'm not going to give you a time frame because I got too many things going on right now, but I will get them done and post it when I'm finished. And I didn't mean for this video to go this long. I rambled too much. I apologize, but I think this is a cool deal. Alright gang, have a great day. Enjoy your weekend.